Good evening. Welcome to your Ass Hurts News Network. Coming to you live from the tip top of Cock Tower Square with your host, Sergeant Friday. Sarge, how you doing?
Cletus, aside from some shoulder pain from doing labor, I don't know how the fuck you people do labor. Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, yeah, that's good. Other than the shoulder pain.
Other than the shoulder pain, yeah. That money grubbing activity can be dangerous.
You just shouldn't pick up so much at one time. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, they were lowering the cans to the ground. I was disconnecting the fucking rope from the handle, lifting them up with my right arm and putting them in the back of the truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easy peasy pudding pie. Well, for some reason, someone else started lowering the buckets and they got the rope caught. So now the bucket is hanging at chest level in front of me. And he's like, the rope is caught. I can't let it go. He said, can you disconnect it where it is? And dumb me, I'm like, okay. And so I did that. And with the bucket at chest level in my left arm with the bad shoulder, it fucked up my shoulder. Yeah. Oh, well.
Damn.
But there were 10 of them buckets, and they're $340 a bucket. So in the end, the $3,400 return almost, but not quite, makes up for a few days of lost sleep, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But it ruins my whole 2-hour workday, 5-day a week, 9-month-a-year schedule because I count not being able to sleep as fucking work time now.
So I'm just curious. I mean, is the entire point of the stream to listen to your ass hurt story, or you got a topic?
Well, it's not my ass that hurts, though.
I'm sorry, your shoulder that hurts.
And we were taking a vote last week. We were gonna start. I don't even know. Hang on. Oh, I was like, this guy's absconded for a whole week. What kind of a fucking employee does that? Right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know I was a fucking employee. Hell, I hadn't gotten a paycheck yet.
Oh, well, but you get so much more than just money here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the moral support of being of learning how my ass hurts every day is way more important than anything money could buy. I forget about that. How silly of me.
Some people got to have it. Some people really need it. Listen to me, y'all. Do things, bad things with it. Dollar bills, y'all. Come on, that need, me, almighty dollar. I know that money. Give me a nickel, brother. Can you spare that? Money can drive some people out of their mind. No good.
We all need it.
We all need it.
Back when he was resoundingly loved.
Damn, you all right?
Yeah, that fucking cola. I got this new soda called Fizz.
It ought to be named Choke. It sounds like. Oh fuck,
man down. The host died.
y'all are stuck here for fucking ever. The host died. The stream will never end.
It'll never end. It'll be forever streamed.
Yeah,
it's unreal, man. But yeah, that's a funny little video when everybody used to love that guy. What do you think? There was a second attempt. What do you think of that?
I mean, it's fucking not surprising, in all honesty.
It's fucking crazy.
The world we live in now. The world we live in. I mean, fuck, if they attempted it once this year, and like you said, they've attempted before. I mean, it really shouldn't be that shocking that they attempted again, and wouldn't be surprised if they don't attempt again.
Me either. Yeah. Well, now he's behind plexi or bulletproof glass. But you still got to get to the station or anyway.
Well, he wasn't behind bulletproof glass on that golf course, was he?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is why. Look, this is why these can't be accidents. A security detail is supposed to be patrolling the grounds, and just to be. I mean, look, I don't know what you do for a living exactly, and that's not important. But there's specific motherfucking things you do in every job. When you go to fucking 7-Eleven, you open up the cash register, right? Yeah. You go in the office, you open the state, you get your drawer, you come out, you open the register, you put the fucking thing in, right? You go to work, you open you unlock the fucking door, you disarm the alarm. There's all kinds of standard fucking things people do, no matter what the job is. And it's impossible. It's fucking impossible to be the leading premier supposed to be fucking protective agency, right? And not have somebody patrol the grounds in areas that are open. That's the only areas you really got to pay attention to. If there isn't a tall building for 3 miles, you don't need people observing fucking tall buildings, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're on a golf course and the golf course borders a public street, and the only thing between you and the public street is a chain link fence, that's a highly vulnerable area. You put people over there. It's mind-boggling to me. And the guy was there for 12 hours. How the fuck does that happen?
He was there for 12 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a complete and utter fucking failure.
That's not a failure, that's intentional.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I've been looking at these thermal drones, right? And they're not, they're fucking expensive, like 10 grand. But in comparison to the money that the U.S. government spends on other shit, you could have had enough to be patrolling that entire fucking golf course.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no fucking excuse for that. No fucking excuse for that.
Bro, there's no excuse needed. It's intentional. There's no way, just like that Butler assassination attempt. That's intentional. You can't blame that on a mistake. Dude, look at that's like, I don't even know, man. How many fucking airplane crashes have resulted because the fucking pilot didn't put down the landing gear? I mean, how many fucking, did you ever see a fucking pilot get out and try to push the plane because he didn't start the engines?
I've never seen anybody try to fly one without wings either.
You know what I mean? It's just, these things are not possible, bro. It's not like you and me are just assigned on the spur of the moment to go do a task, right?
Yeah.
It's an intentional failure. It wasn't an inside leak, Carl. This is how it's happening. This is why I've always said that good people get caught up in doing bad things and they're not aware of it until it's done. So you got the people that are in charge of these details, and you don't need a leak on the inside. All you need is the National Security Agency to keep tracking Trump. They know where the fuck Trump is every second of every day. There's no way you need an inside leak to know that he was at that golf course. It's the NSA following your ex-president around. It's the NSA knowing where he's going to be. Okay? And they had to have heard 12 hours prior, longer than 12 hours before he went to that course. Trump must have spoken that to something through something in an electronic way. They knew he was going to be at the golf course. That guy was there 12 hours waiting for Trump to show up. Okay?
Yeah.
That has to be managed. That isn't an accident. This isn't a guy getting lucky. This isn't somebody that's overslept the fucking security detail late. It has to be.
Well, I mean,
to try to kill him.
when you consider all the details of it, right? If he's there 12 hours, and my understanding is he got in his fucking car and took off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so his car was parked somewhere for 12 fucking hours, and this shit didn't happen in the middle of the damn night. So that means his car was parked somewhere that it, should have seemed somewhat fucking suspicious.
Which
So
means that Trump. Go ahead.
not only did they miss that, but they managed to fucking completely fail to secure the damn grounds and miss him.
Look, if I was Trump, I'd be communicating by carrier pigeon. Fuck them fucking cell phones they give them. Nope, wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wouldn't do it. Because that's the simplest way to track him. You don't need a leak. You don't need to flip somebody or get some fucking spy inside his campaign. All you need to do is monitor his electronic movements. That's it. That's why I keep saying, now that's an example of the government doing it, but so does every company that you buy a cell phone from.
No,
that's how well monitored we are. And here's another thing. Go ahead.
The next thing that's going to happen is they're going to tell him we've got it figured out. We're going to take your cell phone and hand you a walkie-talkie that we confiscated from Hezbollah.
There you go. Boom. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, here's another thing too. I want to let I see things and bring up things that are probably just crazy. But I think based on my view of the world, that it's a highly intuitive, intelligent observation. And here it is. All you motherfuckers with these outdoor cameras present a danger to the rest of us if we ever had to defend ourselves. Because they have access to them cameras and they can know exactly where we all are. They don't need the fucking fight. You think you're going to leave your cell phone? Well, your jerk-off neighbor across the street with a Ring doorbell's got you. The guy down the street, the business around the corner. The dumpster you think you're going to hide behind. Well, there's a camera on a fucking pole 28 feet away. You don't even know it. We're fucked. If this ever came down to a shooting conflict, we're in serious fucking trouble. And in my estimation, you're bringing in tens of millions of fighting edge men and sticking them in hotels and key regions around the country and in areas around the country. To me, they've always said the ocean separate us from an invasion, but today you're living in an environment where the invasion is taking place and the military, the enemy that you may get in a shooting war with is being brought in by your own government, housed, paid, fed, clothed, and they're stationed all around the country by the millions. And I'm telling you, the electronics that we use, you think you can hide from it by getting rid of your cell phone or your computer. Well, with the point I'm making about Ring cameras and other security cameras, you can't hide anymore. Imagine a group of men trying to defend some fucking neighborhood, some state. You think you're going to create a stronghold. No, you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to be spotted. We're in a real bad position. And it seems as if we just don't even want to talk about it or pay attention to it. It is crazy. Or maybe what I just said is crazy. What do you think, Cletus?
No, I mean, I don't think what you said is crazy at all. I mean, they've got, the Ring, what is it, Ring, and there's another brand, Nest, that they have. Yeah. They have access to, but they don't,
What about ADT?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much anything hooked up to a fucking network.
There you go.
They can access. Yeah.
What else was I going to say? Something else too. Yeah, and look, it's not the guys that are on the security detail. They may think there's other people patrolling the grounds because that's what happens. There's supposed to be people outside of the golf club in areas of vulnerability, walking around them, checking them. And this guy was in the bushes, and what you would want, you could call it a sniper's nest, but he had a little homeless camp there for 12 hours.
Yeah.
And how the fuck could you not have caught that if you walked the perimeter? And that's in an area that would have been protected because it obviously had direct access to the golf course.
Maybe he pulled some Jedi mind tricks on them when they walked by. He said, "I am not the sniper you are looking for."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm an old homeless lady collecting cans.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's
crazy. It's fucking crazy.
And I like the title of the stream. This could blow up in their face, but I honestly think Joe Biden steps down and she becomes president before there's ever a vote. Not meaning the vote can't beat her, but making her the president, her getting in there and then closing the border with an executive order. You see?
Yeah.
Trying to pretend that she's going to do the right thing for us. And that may present a big fucking problem for Trump. However, that could blow up in their face. Here's a woman that was installed as a candidate that never got a vote. Now she's president that never got a vote. And now you want to vote us in to confirm her as president. That could also, it could go either way. But I see that as the most likely October surprise that there is to come yet.
Well, how are the polls doing?
Oh, he's crushing it. No, oh yeah.
Okay.
They did. One of the fucking networks went in and talked to 8 black people.
Mm-hmm.
4 men, 4 women.
Yeah.
And 7 of them were all Trump.
All right. Well.
And now the pollsters, not because they're paying attention to us. I don't want, in other words, I don't think it has anything to do with my particular crazy fucking delivery of information, but they're starting to pay deep attention now to the black vote. And the black vote is down to 70% for Kamala. It was at 92% for Biden. So she's clearly lost 22% of the black community.
Yeah.
And Trump already had 8%. So where's that? If that 22% sit home, she loses. And he was just campaigning in New York. You know what he said in New York?
What's that?
He said, people wonder why I'm here in New York. He says, because you don't know what the polls are. He says, we're going to win this state. Any state, folks, and mark my words, write this shit down, with a large black voting population, and it's a dark, deep blue state for the last trillion fucking, since the planet was formed, is in jeopardy of being fucking taken by Trump. The black population has revolted against the Democratic Party, specifically because of how they're treating the illegal immigrants. Remember who the black Americans are. They were our slaves. They were the ones fucked with and hung and burned and fucking had to drink in different fountains. And, they get caught talking to a white girl. They were killed. These people suffered, whether you like them or not. You can't deny that's a fucking fact. And some jerk off from across the fucking border sneaks in and gets housing, school, medical, clothing, food for free. And the black man and your veteran get nothing? Nah. That's what's got them fucking up in arms, bro. They're fucking livid. And then the cost of everything. So the exact things that we have issues with, they are completely conscious of them, and they're no longer blaming the Republicans. They're no longer blaming the white guy. They're blaming Biden and Kamala. So he should have an election like Ronald Reagan did, where he only lost 1 state. Now, I don't think Trump will win California, and I don't think he'll win the state of New York, but I think he'll bring the state of New York so close that if I were him, I would demand a recount.
I don't think he'll win Illinois either.
Oh, he'll kill in Illinois.
You think so?
There's 1.4 million black voters in Illinois, and they're fucking furious in the south side of Chicago. Beyond fear. They're the angriest group that's vocal about it. Get these fucking people out of here. Give us back our schools. Oh, yeah. I think Illinois is in play. Virginia is unwinnable by a Democrat right now. North Carolina is unwinnable. Wisconsin, Michigan, and Minnesota are going to be unwinnable, as is Pennsylvania. She can't win those 4 states. He's going to run the table on all the swing states. And it's not just the black vote. He's got a 60-something% fucking shot with 61% of the independents are voting for him. That by itself, without the blacks, would win the election. But that and the blacks and the Hispanic that he's increased with, and the youth that he's increased with the youth from 18 to 30, big time.
Oh,
big time.
Nice.
And when you take all those factors in, there's very few states in the country that he's going to lose.
Yeah.
So I think, I did that one election map on here that one night. I really think his low tide is 312 and his high tide is 345. He's going to get a referendum. The American people are finally going to, they've got a reason to stand against the government now. Right? And he's the candidate that stands against the government. They're the ones that have charged him with 94 different fucking crimes that keep getting fucking dismissed. Yeah. So here's what I say, though. I say Biden steps down in October in an attempt to put Kamala in office to give her the air of being a president to vote for the president. But where that may backfire, but they see they don't consider consequences for whatever reason.
Well, Biden may do it out of fucking spite, just like you said you think he nominated her.
He did.
Or
he absolutely
named her as a spite move to the Democrats. He may step down as a spite move because he may think, well, if she's sitting president for a couple of weeks and fucks some shit up, there's no way they're gonna win.
Well, also here's what happens though. If they do this, and I'm telling you, I'm predicting they're going to, it also then makes her directly responsible for the last 4 years. So there is a downside to it, a big downside.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, who's to say there isn't some fucking dramatic fucking tragedy that takes place and they declare martial law?
Yeah.
It sounds extreme, but all of these are possibilities that sit right there in front of us.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities that aren't far fetched at all to say that could happen.
Yeah.
Considering the state of things.
And the state of thing, like I love this P. Diddy. That P. Diddy stuff is awesome. Have you seen what's going on with that?
I knew he got arrested and didn't get bail. Is about all I know about it. I don't even know what he was arrested
He's Jeffrey
for.
Epstein on steroids, bro.
Gotcha.
I'm way on steroids. He makes Jeffrey Epstein look like a gin player. Okay. And this guy is a player's player. He's got everybody on tape, that little fucker. And everybody is his friend. Kamala's his friend. Obama's his friend. Oprah's his friend. All of these people. Harry Weinstein was his friend. And look, and I don't think what he was doing. Let me just say, if you want to have a freak off, I don't object to that at all. I don't think there's anything wrong with people engaging in whatever kind of fucking sexual activity, as long as it's not with kids, coerced, okay, or breaking a law.
Yeah,
I think that's fine. Go ahead, fuck your brains out. I don't really care. So I don't think that part of it doesn't bother me. The sex, what bothers me, or will bother me, is especially if there's children or underage, any underage people involved. Or you're finding out things about people that lied to us. I guess the sex will matter in this case because if Obama's taking Pecker in the butt, right? That might be a fucking problem because nobody envisioned that from him. So there will be, but it's not criminal for, you know what I'm saying? If that's what you're doing, there's no crime to that.
So what is P. Diddy charged with?
Racketeering, all kinds of different big charges. Sex trafficking, I believe, is definitely part of it.
Huh. So
bringing people from across state lines that are prostitutes is sex trafficking. That's one form of sex trafficking.
Gotcha.
Crossing state lines, and he's brought prostitute. Even Hunter Biden was guilty of that. Hunter Biden was his friend. It's the thing is that he's got all these incriminating tapes. But here's the catch: I understand he was blackmailing people with these freak off videos. Jennifer Lopez was his girlfriend. Beyonce, I think, was with him. So what's he got on them people? They don't mention, but I bet you Miley Cyrus is a part of that. I bet you that ugly fucking girl too. She wore that meat fucking outfit to a Oscar Awards. Lady Gaga, that nasty bitch. I fucking brought something about her. She just seems so ugly to me. And then actually, Miley Cyrus, the older she gets, the more she fits her voice and her appearance. Because she got like a fucking man voice, that girl. I never thought she had any kind of fucking singing voice. But she, unlike her dad, turned into a sex freak. Miley Cyrus's father is a very respectable fucking guy, religious guy. Very successful entertainer and music industry guy. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And look how his daughter ended up going down the fucking stream of fucking dirt. So I think there's a lot of people caught up in this. And I think like Miley, she's got to be part of it because I sing better than her.
I did hear her doing a Metallica song with Metallica, and it wasn't bad. I will.
Yeah, they probably got voice enhancers on the fucking machines. She started out at Disney too. That whole corporation is fucking part of the problem. And that the CEO of Disney's announcing he's stepping down, but I think he's going to get kicked out. He's destroying that fucking business, and the shareholders are fucking furious. For some reason, he's been able to make, I think, 8 of the worst fucking movies in the world. Movies that should have been successful. Then I heard something crazy. I don't know if you heard this. Is Clue there?
Yeah.
That maybe I told you this about Snow White getting kicked out of Disney.
What?
Yeah, they fucking kicked her out. She was fucking caught sitting on Pinocchio's face yelling, "Lie, motherfucker, lie."
So stupid.
I can't believe she fell for that. She doesn't feel good today. She's not on her A game tonight.
Oh, I'm not either, man. My shoulder is just killing me. Holy fuck.
You
I'll
and
never do that again.
It's gonna be like
What?
the fucking finger where it never goes away.
It better not be like that. I'll chop this fucking arm off and go back with that girl with one arm.
You could walk side by side at the shoulder and you'll
Be complete. You complete me.
right.
That'll be our wedding. That'll be our wedding verse. You complete me. Holy fuck, that would be awesome. Oh man.
That's funny.
Yeah, so there's a lot of entertainers and a lot of politicians connected to that P. Diddy.
Well, I wonder if he'll make it to trial, unlike Epstein.
Probably not. Probably not. Well, here's something interesting. Let me put this. I haven't seen this yet. I
did
wanna see what it
about maybe getting prisoners to watch him. Like something about being in like a glass room and having the people in the prison like monitor him because he's on, the watch.
He's on suicide watch.
Right.
Yeah. And they put you in that and you're naked.
Yeah.
Just be aware. You're naked. You don't even have undershorts because you could stretch, you could turn and make a rope out of it. I got in a fight with a guy in jail and ended up kicking him in the fucking face while he was sitting down at a picnic table in the dorm. And the fucking guy he wouldn't give me this candy, but he owed me 3 Snicker bars. And he was trying to punk me. He wasn't going to give them to me because he was withdrawn from heroin and he had more need than I did for him. And I said, "Well, you lost him in a bet." He goes, "Well, what are you going to do about it?" And I acted like I was just going to do nothing. And as soon as he relaxed, I kicked him in the fucking face with my work boot. Blew his fucking nose up, sent him to the fucking floor. And he's fucking screaming and yelling. And the deputies came in and they're like, "What happened? What happened?" They go, "We don't know. This guy's like, we think he's trying to kill himself." They put him in one of them glass rooms, fucking all bloody and no clothes on.
Damn.
That was awesome. I had a good time when I was in jail for the short period of time.
You fucking would. You would.
It fucking rocked, bro. Okay, let's see what's going on here.
Here, it's going to go down a little bit. It just went down $100.
Thank you so much.
We'll do that for you from the White House, all right?
Thank you.
All right, bye. Nice seeing you, everybody.
God bless you.
Beautiful. They're your kids?
Yeah, they are. 3 boys.
Perfecto. Perfecto. Bye, everybody.
Wait, he just threw money out for people's groceries.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Man. He's fucking funny, this guy. I always kind of like the guy, but I still sit on the edge that he's also part of the act because look how many people he's got corralled into what he's doing.
Right. Yeah.
So it's hard for me to completely accept that he's the victim, right? And anything is possible. Let's hope that that's what it is, and let's hope that this time he actually does drain that fucking swamp of fucking filth that's taken over our government. And it need not be personal, but you got people connected to drug cartels, sex traffickers, fucking arms dealers, and they're in positions that are regulating this fucking country and running the fucking show. If not directly, then by buying and paying these people off. It needs to be stopped. It needs to be eradicated, man. So anyway, that's my point. Dilly loves naked. Suits him just fine. Yeah. Diddy. The fuck does P. Diddy even stand for, man?
Puff Daddy.
Yeah, it used to be Puff Daddy.
Well, why isn't he P Daddy then?
I don't know.
Because he diddies. He's a diddler. Diddler on the fucking roof, that little freak.
I guess so.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the names that come out. But only if these people have done something that's criminal.
Right.
Right? I don't. It's none of my business what any of the people did that went there if there was no crime attached to what they did.
Yeah.
And you know, the idea that there were prostitutes there that came across state lines, if you didn't have any interaction in arranging that, then you shouldn't be held account for that. Right? You're invited to a fucking party. The guy puts all the stuff out there. I mean, you can't bring a fucking stenographer in to keep track of what everybody's saying, and you can't start doing background investigations on all the guests before you participate, right? You know, you're there to fuck. And so if there are crimes like that and they weren't directly a part of it, then I don't want to know. If Oprah was there and she wasn't a part of any of the criminality, I don't want to know who she slept with or what she did.
Yeah.
Right? Is that I like?
No, that's
to me,
fair.
I just like fair.
Yeah, that's fair. It's none
Right,
of our business.
Go ahead.
I said it's none of our business.
It really isn't. It's none of our business. If they want to tell us, let them tell us. But there's music executives that have stepped down already. I think 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, and this is worse than what fucking Harvey Weinstein did. Harvey Weinstein was convicted of something similar to this, just not as bad or as fucking big as what Diddy is doing. I can't call him Diddy. His name is what? Sean Combs or something like that?
Sean Combs, yep.
Yeah. And boy, is he a rabid fucking Trump hater and Democrat lover. Oh, man. You want to hear what happened to me in the store the other day when I was trying to buy a pack of cigarettes?
What happened to you?
This girl looks at my ID. She goes, it's expired. I said, I'm not here for traffic court. I'm here to buy cigarettes. It's expired. It's an ID, is it not? She goes, but it's expired. I said, well, so what? She goes, well, you can't buy cigarettes. I said, you know, why is that? She goes, those are the rules. I said, you know why those rules are like that? Do you know why this is a communist fucking state? And she goes, why? I go, because people like you vote Democrat. That's why. And I snatched my license back and said, have a fucking nice day, Democrats, and walked out. It says on the bottom, Democrats are the enemy within. These sycophant motherfuckers are all no good. I don't give a fuck if you've got the nicest fucking lady in the street that bakes everybody fucking cornbread every fucking Monday. If she votes Democrat, she's your enemy. Even if she does it through sheer ignorance of only voting Democrat because that's what she was taught. Right? I was taught that you could go into a bank and just take the money out of the drawer. That's a crime, right?
Yeah.
And ignorance is no excuse. I didn't see the speed limit sign. I was going 70 into 25. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. And ignorance of what your vote has been doing to this country means you're the enemy. I can't stomach people that are that fucking stupid, man. And look, and I'm not saying Trump is our only answer. I want to say that too. I'm not this fucking die in the fucking heart. It's got to be Trump or no one. It's got to be people that are fair and do what they're supposed to do. That's all. I mean, imagine if you ran doing what you're doing based on the way these people do their job. There'd be no people wouldn't have cell phones, would they?
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to talk to yourself for fuck's sakes. There'd probably be some high-pitched whine emanating the entire atmosphere of the planet. We'd be all fucked. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's not a company. That's mandated by New York. That you got to show ID to buy cigarettes. And then they scan it. They want to scan your ID.
Well,
That's
I mean,
all right.
I don't understand the expiration aspect of it, though. I mean, what the fuck if it expired? That means you got younger.
No, it's just not a valid ID anymore.
It certainly is. In New York State, you could drive with a
If it's
expired
valid,
license for listen for 2 years with no consequences.
well, what I was going to say is if they scan it and it comes back expired,
It proves
that
who I am.
all that does is validate that at one point in time it was an active license, meaning that it's expired, but they do recognize it. So yeah, that's kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah, the fucking store was full of fucking Yeah, black people. And unfortunately, my city's, I think, one of the few areas of the fucking country that aren't going to fucking listen to the fucking sensibility of life. They're going to let the media tell them what to think. Although there is good news on the mainstream media, their viewership is down in ways that's just unimaginable. And the fact that the country reacted to that debate, where Harris really acted like the prosecutor that she is. I never suspected she was going to do bad. But in doing what she did by colluding with the fucking network, they were trying to prosecute Trump for shit that's lies. But she handled it extremely well. In a court of law, that would have got a guilty verdict. And that's why people's initial reaction was she did better than Trump. But in the end, when people were asked questions, they all said the same thing. She never answered the questions about what she was going to do. She's talking about an opportunity economy. Well, what the fuck does that mean? How does that affect the price of a loaf of bread? Where when you ask Trump, he does give you the same answers over and over again, but the answers do directly apply to the economy and how much you're paying for shit.
Yeah.
And he's right. You know, the other thing is, you know, one of the reasons why he had peace around the globe and the Middle East wasn't on fire, you know what the main reason was for that?
What?
The price of a barrel of oil. He got it down to $33 or something like that per barrel.
Yeah.
And at that rate, Iran can't make enough money on a barrel of oil to placate its own society, where they give gas for 19 cents a gallon or free. A lot of these dictatorship countries like Venezuela, they can't keep their population in check without giving shit away free based on the profits of the oil, because they're state-run companies. They're not Exxons. They're not independent companies like a Verizon. They're state-owned, and they use those profits. And so once Biden got in and shut down all our leases and shut down Anwar and shut down the pipeline, oil shot up to $105 a barrel. At that price, Iran can not only placate its population, but it can fund the terror groups of Hezbollah and Hamas to attack Israel. That's why Trump had peace. There was no money. And no matter what you do, you can have all the desire in the world. But if you don't have the means, you can't do it. Fair enough?
Yeah. Look at Ukraine.
There you go.
I mean, I'm just saying, you can't fucking argue that, you know. If we wasn't fucking funneling weapons in there left and fucking right, they'd sit back and be like, "Yes, sir, Mr. Putin, what can we do for you today?"
It's fucking insane. And that's a war started by us. That's another thing most of the population doesn't get. Kennedy is probably given the best explanation of the war. And not this, you know, of course I'm going to toot my own horn. It mirrors what I've been saying for a long time.
9:59 p.m.
I got to get these. The other thing that happened, besides my shoulder getting fucked up, right?
Yeah.
And so now I got to lay me down to sleep sitting up for long periods of time. And that background noise of the TV would be fucking awesome. But my 75-inch TV shit the fucking bed. So I've had no fucking television through this fucking wicked fucking arm pain. Nothing to distract me, nothing to fucking, you know what I mean? So so now I had to order a new TV and pay for them to take the 75-inch away, and that's not going to happen until Thursday. So I'm all fucked up over here, Cletus.
Damn, sorry.
Sometimes when you have the means, you still can't accomplish things. Oh man! But I did order me an 86-inch TV.
Well, there you go.
Be here Thursday.
Why didn't you just go to the fucking store and buy one?
You know how big an 86-inch TV is?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to bring? What are you going to haul it with?
I don't
Can't
know.
lay it down. It's got to stand up. Can't lay it down.
I guess a bigger truck than the one you have. I don't know.
It's wider than the bed.
Yeah.
Okay. It's longer than the bed, which doesn't matter because you can leave the tailgate down. But it's also wider than the bed, and it's taller than the truck when you set it in the box, right?
Yeah.
So how the fuck are you going to get that in the truck and secure it in the upright position? Even a full-size pickup truck, you can't lay it down flat. Even if you could, the beds are not wide enough. The beds are only 4 feet wide, but they're not 4 feet wide between the wheel wells.
Right.
And this TV is 47 1/4 inches tall.
Damn, these third world problems.
You know, listen, I don't suffer from third world problems. I literally don't. I don't even. Even when I was on crack cocaine, I didn't suffer from third world problems 30 years ago. Everything was still available to you.
But let this motherfucker get a sore shoulder and up. He's he's living in Ethiopia. Everything's fucking miserable.
Man, I'll tell you what. I also found that my new favorite is French bread pizza. I'm addicted to these fucking things. I need to go to a 12-step program.
How many times have you had them in the past week?
Man. Well, I eat. Usually I'll eat 2 for fucking dinner and lunch, and then I'll have 1 for a snack at night. So 3 a day, probably like 30 of them. My weight's still 161 pounds. It hasn't affected my fucking weight.
That's fucking funny as shit. Sitting
Man,
around eating kids' pizzas, drinking fruit flavored fucking soda, and getting on the internet with a mouth like a sailor. That's funny as shit.
Listen, I'm a multifaceted man, child. Oh my God. Well, I wasn't going to do the stream tonight because of my arm pain, but I didn't do it the last few days either. At the end of last week.
Yeah.
When you canceled, I canceled. I just was like, whatever.
Yeah, I had to step away for a bit and handle some shit. Mostly in my own fucking head.
Well, and mostly shit that you created and brought upon yourself, if you want to be honest.
Yeah.
Pardon me. No, am I wrong?
Mainly me. I might have brought it upon him.
Yeah. You brought it upon yourself.
Yeah.
Are you still singing in the beginning of her stream? Because that's kind of chased me away.
Yeah, she's still playing my music in the beginning. Yeah. Just show up 15 minutes after it starts and you're good.
Yeah,
it's over at that point.
Have you guys talked to Dago?
No.
No,
I got nothing to say to Dago.
You guys are fucking hypocrites. Holy fuck!
No, see, you misunderstand. You say
wait there, Appalachian guy. Learn me something, would you?
All right. So we convinced you to give him a second chance, which
that was a third chance.
Well, which in turn is a second chance for us as well with him. So when that that's
such a bullshit story right there, folks. He's trying to conflate two things that have nothing to do with each other. Because when I had the falling out, you kept dealing with him.
Right.
Knowing what he did, and I was okay with that, right? What did I say? Your friends are your friends. Who am I to tell you who to talk to? And then he did it to you, right? And you get me to forgive him for doing to me what he did to you.
And then you kept fooling with him, and that's okay. So
no, wait a minute though. Wait. I listen. Holy fuck, folks. Okay, a 1 or 2. Is Sarge correct or is Cletus correct? 1 for Sarge, 2 for Cletus. You fucking hypocrite.
Is he still talking to him?
Are you still talking to him?
I haven't talked to him in a while, but only because I haven't talked to a lot of people in a while, including you, because you were on vacation or something. Or, a self-imposed, prison. I don't know. Unbelievable.
Trying not to lose my fucking mind again over a motherfucker on the internet.
Yeah, fuck that. Don't let them get to you. What's the problem? Because they possibly do. It's going to irritate you. It is what it is.
You have something good planned for tomorrow. A stress relief.
Yeah.
Of sorts, don't you?
What?
What the fuck are we doing? Why are you acting like you're new here? What are we doing tomorrow?
We're going searching.
All right, then.
There you go. You guys got a new area of interest? An unsearched area, maybe?
Yeah, it appears as though. We got a few options. So.
I hope something comes of that. I fear the worst because the time is against you.
Yeah, I
At
mean,
this
it's,
point, right?
you know, we have no misconception that if we, if we are successful, it's not a good outcome, right? But it's absolutely something that needs to be done because it's a possibility, an apparent possibility that needs to be eliminated.
He ain't in the woods.
She's adamant he's not in the woods, and I tend to agree, but it's a possibility nonetheless that I've got to eliminate from my own mind.
I think you guys are right about some illegal person down in that fucking housing development that snatched him. I think him going to that pond and then disappearing from that fucking little body of water and without a trace from there forward, I honestly think that when you guys come up with that particular thought, I thought that it was probably as accurate as anything else. So, but here's the only problem I ever had with that was what prompted him to leave that house.
Right.
And it still could have been somebody from that area down there. It could have been that he befriended somebody that had been staying in those houses. You know, the ones that weren't finished.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it all goes back to what prompted him to leave the property.
Well, and I, just
the
this far into it, and kind of evaluating what is known and what can be taken as fact. I see no reason that he ran because he felt threatened in any way, shape, or form. I think he left because he wanted to. He was going toward a goal, right? Yeah. And that goal was a friendly goal in his mind, is the way I see it. And whether that be somebody in that construction site or somebody else that, groomed him, if you will, that I think that's personally what happened. But there's a couple of spots that need to be searched, based on what we know, that we're going to go eliminate.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that.
What about that one group called the Mob Crew or whatever he is that had fucking suspects and fucking cars and fucking, what happened to that guy?
I think he's still fucking going with it. I don't know. I hadn't watched it. I mean, I've pretty well figured out what the fuck it is we're looking at in that video. From my mind, I've seen enough to where I'm confident that if I can get the two things that I need, which maybe I'll actually be able to this week, then I can put it together and show plain as day. Yeah, we've been chasing fucking Linda Lane for 7 months.
Yeah. Somebody, Lana was talking something about that Tommy Jude. I don't know what he did. He must have made a stream making some claims of something that just aren't true, which would be like a fucking shocker for that fucking.
I mean, it's a fucking Monday, or whatever day of the week it was that he did that. It shouldn't be a fucking surprise.
Unfucking believable. I haven't really paid much attention to that case because I've kind of been sucked back in. Let myself fall into the politics. But
yeah,
somebody asked about Trump, about the tax plan. And his tax plan is very simple. No overtime pay tax. No federal tax on overtime pay. No taxing of tips. And, people try to make fun of that and say, oh, well, the CEO is going to say he made $100 and that the other $28 million was a tip. Don't work like that. Yeah. Those two things would boost the segment of the economy that needs it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Which is restaurants, right? So,
restaurants.
I think he's got a good idea. The thing he's not saying, though, and it bothers me, well, he is saying it, but without making it a big deal, he's going to cut government. I mean, does government really need $5 trillion of our dollars to operate? I mean, what the fuck is this? Do you know how many countries around the globe it takes? How many dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of countries don't know what $5 trillion is?
Yeah.
They run on $1 billion.
Yeah.
2 billion, 10 billion, 50 billion, right? And what the fuck does our government need all that money for?
Well, didn't you say he's putting, or it looks like he may put Elon in charge of?
Yeah. But he should spend more time pointing that out too when people are bringing up questions about the economy.
Yeah.
He said one of the things he should say is the quickest way to pay off the debt is to stop borrowing. And how do you stop borrowing? You cut government. All these redundant agencies need to be ended. And there's a Supreme Court ruling that just came out called Chevron that gives him this fucking power. The Chevron ruling is an important ruling in that these agencies no longer have the power to decide what's right and wrong for you. The courts do. And so if the EPA changes a law tomorrow morning, or regulation. They don't make law. They create regulations.
Yeah.
Then you can now challenge them. You couldn't challenge them before. Now everything they do to EPA, to fucking CDC, whoever it is, they can be legally challenged. And Trump cutting out, he needs to be more strong with that. A smaller government is a better government. Government can't be everything for everybody. That's not that hard to understand, right?
Yeah.
So, but you're right. He is putting Elon Musk in a position to audit that government. And in that alone, if you can cut $1 trillion or $1.5 trillion of spending, then you no longer need to borrow money. And the $800 billion that you got budgeted to pay on the money you're going to continue to borrow can be applied to the debt. And I also would federalize the Federal Reserve. If it were me, I would return the Federal Reserve to what it was originally intended for, and that was ended in 1935. And then crushed by Nixon by taking us off the gold standard. So I would reverse those two things, although I would avoid the gold standard. I'd keep us on the dollar, only because we're the world's currency. And there just isn't enough gold in the world to back the kind of money the world needs to operate nowadays. I'm getting tipsy, so I try to be. So, you mentioned something about a tax idea, like tax money can be used to get a bill passed. Oh, what I was trying to say about that is not a bill, but they need to pass a bill that would require a tax, an election tax on every purchase, on every transaction of like 0.25%. So you can make 4 transactions before you spend a penny out of your own personal income. And that money be locked into an account that then is divvied up around the 50 states to manage federal elections for Congress, for the Senate, and for the presidency. For judges, federal judges, if your state elects judges that way. And that tax money should be, and no corporate money can be taken. Only citizen donations can be taken on top of the tax money. Only single donations can be given. And they need to end these 504Cs, whatever. There's some fucking thing that you could create out there, and you could separately raise millions of dollars and campaign on behalf of a candidate, so long as you have no direct connection to that candidate. I forget what they call that.
Not a 501c3. Right.
No, that's a not-for-profit, but it's a not-for-profit, and I forget what they call. There's a name for it. They need to end that. And this way, the officials are only going to get money from taxpayers and only be responsible to the taxpayers. Okay.
Yeah.
And if they do any lobbying, all of that lobbying money that they spend, or any money that they're going to invest in lobbying, there needs to be a percentage of that put towards the national debt. So if you want to go down to Congress and spend fucking $50 million, Pfizer, 15% of that has to go directly to pay down the national debt before you even get to talk about the fucking issue you want to talk about down there. There's simple legal rules that could be constitutional that just need to be applied, and they're common sense. And getting control of your politicians means getting control of the fucking ways that they are able to get and raise money. If the citizens get a hold of that, then a lot of your politicians are going to get thrown out, because they're going to be fucking working for Pfizer. They're going to be working for Boeing, and not you and me. And we're like, well, fuck you, dude. You used our tax money to get elected to give that big benefit to them. Fuck you. Get them out of here. And then someone else would have to be prime. You would have to have an election. The election would come up. You'd get rid of that person. And because you have skin in the game, real skin in the game, as consumers and as citizens, you would pay much more closer attention. If a politician says he's going to do X, Y, Z, and he does A, B, C, you're not going to want him using your tax money to run for office again, right?
Yeah.
Now, they called it a poll tax, and they've convinced everybody that a poll tax is racist. And in fact, the poll tax does have a racist history, because it was used to prevent blacks from voting. But this isn't what I'm saying. I'm saying every purchase, no matter who the fuck you are, where you came from, why you're here, has a small tax that goes into a general election fund. And that's it. So there's you can't discriminate. One guy can't be taxed and other guys can avoid the tax because of skin color, because of philosophy. It's a small percentage of a percent on everything that you fucking buy. And that would add up to billions of fucking dollars, man.
So
Right?
yeah, so what you're
Right.
talking about is a federal level sales tax
Correct.
for elections. Yeah.
Right. On every transaction that's made, but a small percentage, so that you don't have to get in an argument of we need to do it on cell phones, but we can't do it on fucking heating bills, or we can't do it on a turkey, but we could do it on a candy bar. Fuck that. On everything that's fucking transacted. And that money can't be used to operate any government agency at all. And you take 3-year averages in a state of New York, state of fucking Tennessee. What are the 3-year averages of the senators that competed against each other? What is that number? And each one of those candidates get half, right?
Yeah.
So if it was $10 million to elect a senator in Tennessee, between the two teams spent 10, you spent 8, he spent 2. Well, it's no longer going to work that way. You both get fucking 5. You see?
Yeah.
And the system is so simple. It's common sense. And now they would have to compete for public money because that's all that would be available to them. So when they're doing a primary and some fucking jerk off cunt named Kamala is asked a question, how are you going to cut the price of a loaf of bread? And she tells you she's a middle class and lived in an area where people were proud of their lawns. What's that got to do with the loaf of bread? You wouldn't vote for her, you see?
Right.
It would fix so many things with that simple passage of that idea. Just like I say with user agreements. Sarge has got a lot of simple fucking things, but if Americans don't get behind it, if we don't come together and do things as a group, then you get nothing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I was talking about race this time, 12 gauge, I was explaining how a tax on election tax was used to hurt people. That's right, and that's true history of the United States. So, it was about black people, but it was a true experience that they had to endure. It was fucking terrible. The poll tax. If you couldn't afford the poll tax, you couldn't vote. And most of the black people were just coming out of slavery. They didn't have no paying job. How the fuck were they going to pay the tax, right?
Yeah.
That was so. In that regard, that's a horrible way to use an election tax. But in the context that I'm placing it, I think it's a fantastic idea. What do you think?
I mean, I don't disagree. The thing that I wonder about is why isn't there already some level of federal sales tax?
Because we've been convinced and told by Democrats that a poll tax is a racist fucking thing. It discriminates, but it can't possibly discriminate when everybody has to pay for it on everything they buy.
Yeah.
Right? And only that money can be used for elections. The only people being discriminated there is the politicians. But motherfucker, you're applying for a job to work for us. Okay? And there's no discrimination in telling you can't take money from IBM or Amazon or Facebook. We're not discriminating against you. We're telling you that you should not get a monetary advantage by these big corporations. Right? And build name recognition. And then people just get used to hearing you all the fucking time. And you keep getting reelected. That needs to stop. It's just killing us. Only homeowners. Well, 64% of the homes in America are owned. So, and you get about that many people in the turnout. You don't get all of the fucking voters that are eligible. Anyway, 12 gauge. Say hello to 12 gauge. I don't know if you see him in there, Cletus.
What's up, 11+1?
11+1.
I like your hat. I saw your hat on your stream the other day, and I was laughing at it. And Clue was like, "What are you laughing at?" And I'm like, "His fucking hat." I was like, "I know this guy did not get a hat that says 12 gauge on it."
Does it?
But it looks good. I like it. I just had to give you shit, even though I wasn't talking to you. I was still giving you shit.
It said
In
12
spirit.
gauge on it?
Yeah,
I didn't fucking know that.
yeah. It's his merch. It was pretty cool, though. I do like the logo.
That's fucking cute. That's awesome. Well, look at that. He's starting to tool up, speed up, and earn some coin.
Hell yeah.
Can't beat that. Fun. All right. Well, it is 10 o'clock, Cletus. About time you got your ass back in here.
Yeah, man. I'm back.
Tell your old lady to stop creating legal problems for you.
Yeah.
Fucking
I
cool.
haven't created a legal
The
problem.
threat of legal problems, anyway. How about that?
You should have invited the guy up for dinner, cracked him in the fucking head with a side of beef, and asked him what's the problem. And here's a piece of information that you're unaware of, folks. Cows can't fart. Okay. So the next time you hear them tell you that cows are causing global warming because they fart, just be aware a cow's digestive system doesn't allow for it to fart. It can burp, but it can't fart. Cletus?
Okay. I cannot deny that I have never witnessed a cow pass gas, and
They
I've been
shit.
around a lot of fucking cows. So yeah,
They don't fart.
no,
Nope. There you have it, folks.
Yeah.
More facts from the old Friday guy. All right. In the meantime, we'll be back again. It was awesome having you here, Cletus. Finally, fucking forgot your name almost.
yeah. Well,
You know?
you're my dad, so that's no shocker.
No shocker. All right. Live from Beijing, China. Coming to you from the Cock Tower with the world famous Lick of My Balls Convention Center. This is your host and co-host telling you good night. And I hope your bed bugs bite.
Betty.